What is up, YouTube? It's Aaron and Irvin here with Team Shenanigans. And who do we got today?
Princess.
Alrighty, and what just happened today, man?
I just won the regionals at Columbus, Ohio.
Alright, and what deck?
Jemial, Luna.
And any special reasons behind that?
Honestly, the main reason I started playing this deck because I got the Rainbow Luna and I really like Luna. So I wanted to play it as well as it's like super fun, and I think it's very well positioned against all the Sylphias in the meta.
Nice. Alright, well, if you have any special comments or
So
you guys built it together?
This here is Aaron. We started testing for this event.
Get closer
I
to
brought the deck onto like our plan. I was like, this is what I'm playing. He's like, yeah, I like it a lot. So we worked on it a lot this week together, playtesting a lot. He did end up landing on Jemial Kite for the event, but that's just because gotta play Sylph.
Yeah.
So we'll start off towers. We're playing base towers plus black tower. Most of the reason is the 2k power.
Can you do them backwards?
Yeah. 2k power. Honestly, the text on it is like moderately relevant. If it had 1500 power with the same ability, I would probably use the other tower.
Alright.
Whenever I go to shards, we have 5 base shards. Nightmare shard, it's really good with kins. Do either mill the kins when you don't want it, mill cards you need for Yami, or just mill dead cards. 1 Zephyr Crystal, very necessary. There's a lot of Hoenna. Playing against the green decks that play the command center, whatever it's called. Honestly, getting Ishkandar really early, like either hitting their quickness gear, hitting their Longinus, or whatever the hex one is, or hitting their statue, super important. Corona Ruby, because every other one's bad. Right, start with Black Splash, I guess.
Just remember to, yeah.
Doing 1 Vengeance, 1 Evil Eye. The idea is, honestly, the way I play this deck, it is mostly hand disruption. Everything else is just trying to tempo them out and until I can get to the point where I can just play these as many times as possible. Some people, namely Timbuto and Nori, are playing some combination like 2-1, 2-1 here, something of that sort. We decided on 1-1 because honestly, none is better than the other. They are just better in different situations. We were playing the 1-of Debilitating Miasma because honestly we felt like there was going to be a lot of aggro decks, which there was. We saw a lot of Liam today, like the Liam aggro-based decks, as well as it's just really good against like Hoenna Kite. Yami, because you have to play Yami, there's really nothing to talk about here. Soul Transfer. We have a lot of very good threats that are, someone also played their Goma Vengeance, so you Soul Transfer it, grab your Demon Evil Eye. Like, the deck is just very recursive. Like, it plays these same threats over and over again. Honestly, there's not a lot of bombs. There's like 3 to 4 bombs in the deck. Everything else is kind of like just tempo-y stuff. So if you can hit those in any way, it's amazing.
That's interesting because well, from my thoughts, I thought Soul Transfer was mainly going to be used on Demon Eye or Watchwoman, like things they can't lab,
I mean, in a perfect world like that, but it's like a huge tempo swing if it resolves, especially when you like Mayu back Soul Transfer and like clear their board. That's just like literally game ending if you like hit it correctly.
I had some like really, I did it at least twice this weekend, I think. I would Mayu, return Soul Transfer my Mayu just to get the Watchwoman out of my graveyard just for like that extra push.
Oh, true.
You gotta do cool tricks.
I guess I'm also thinking only about Hoenna, but yeah, there's other decks.
It does well versus everything. That's like the Miasma's in there because like the main thing was like Rudy. Like we put a lot of the Black Splash in. There's a counter to Rudy and also like the hand disruption. So that's like the main reason for that.
All right, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So nice and easy. 1 drops, 3 kins. You can't play Jemial without kins. Azure Seer. Some people aren't playing these. I know Timbuto wasn't. He's also playing like a very special build, honestly. His are in his sideboard to assign to the aggro matchup, but it's really good to like kins, look at the top 2. One of these cards is bad, play Azure Seer, put it on the bottom.
Yeah. And cracking towers are really just something that people like undervalue a lot. Because like if you're playing a 50-minute game 1, but like and you're in a winning position, but you don't crack towers, like you still lost the game. So you actually have to like tempo an early game to like put yourself in a winning position.
3 Phantasmal Guards. Blocks the guys that are trying to kill you quickly. It puts 2 counters on Jemial. Nothing you can really say wrong about this card. 3 ASBs, once again, staple. Not a lot to explain with it. There's the trick with kins. Tap kins to draw a card, hold priority, ASB it. You get to draw a bunch of cards. We have 3 Mizu. So Mizu, incidentally, was like my favorite card today, like by far.
Yeah.
I honestly, for the most part, ignored the defensives unless I needed to. What I used it for very often is I would attack with one of my demons, like my Demon Evil Eye or my Vengeance, and if they tried to answer it or Chronostasis board wipe, whatever, just return it to my hand, play it again. That was one of the ways that I like heavily abused the 2 hand disruption cards. ASB in my hand, Mizu in my hand, a lot.
Yeah.
3 Azure Guardians. It's really good against Hoenna. It's just a defensive card. Not a lot to talk about there. Another card that we abused pretty heavily to bounce back and forth. Ayakuma Wavebender. A lot of people don't like this card. They think it's really weird. I think it's honestly super sweet, super fun. Once again, bouncing the hand disruption cards, as well as just bouncing Hoenn tokens, the 2K Guardian token, putting your opponent off tempo. Sometimes you're just trying to like get bodies on board. You'll just bounce your Azurseer just to get extra counters on Jemial and get more looks.
And it's even better with Yami because you get to like disrupt like their big guys that they play on the end phase. Like if they play a big Guardian, or if they're playing like Juggernaut in turn 5, and you do Yami on the end phase, they have to shard drain twice if you like to try and protect it over the course of the game, and that just has them super far behind.
I love that card. One of my favorites all weekend, honestly. So one of the most important cards, because I played a lot of Jemial matchups today, Keiko. So this is a card that at Richmond, Tim and Nori both brought to everyone's attention, so everyone's kind of like trying to slide it in. This card is amazing, and honestly, some of the most skill-intensive parts of the like control mirror matches. Very often, like when I played Bateau once yesterday in Swiss, and then twice today in top 4 and in Swiss. And honestly, we did the dumbest things to take care of each other's Keikos. Like, he played Keiko on turn 3, and I will crack my Krona, flip my Luna, kill your Keiko. If you can keep them off of looping their Keikos, it's insane. Because if you let them get both of them, I think he was playing 3, so it was even harder. You just start, looping your Mayu, looping your Demon and Evil Eye. It's just so much value.
Yeah, when you're playing control mirror match and they have infinite resources, like it's really difficult to win. So like you have to stop the thing that puts it back before you actually answer the card. Yeah. It's really hard.
Keiko is one of the most important cards in the matchup and one of the most important cards to get rid of, which people were slowly learning as the day went on.
So if it's so important, why didn't you play 3? Do you think 3 clogs?
I didn't realize quite how important it was until today, because until today I hadn't played as many other mirror matches. But like after playing against, I played against Bateau like round 3, it just became very apparent like how insane it was. He got like good moves off on me like once or twice, and then after that I just started going hard on trying to get rid of him.
Okay.
The one of Silver Watchwoman has a lot of synergy with the deck. At one point I attack, broke their last tower, Mizo back to my hand, attack, kill him. Just once again, Wavebinder it. It's a pretty good target with Soul Transfer. Watchwoman's just good. We're playing the 1-off Return to Slumber. This is a soft lock with Mayu sometimes. Honestly, that's Christmas Land. It doesn't happen very often. But the idea is if there is at least one blue tower broken, you will Return to Slumber, target your Mayu, target their guy, put their guy that's hopefully irrelevant on top of the deck, like an Azure Guardian, whatever. So then you draw Mayu, play Return to Slumber. Once again, you have Return to Slumber to target your Mayu, target their thing. Eventually, people start to realize not to play things. Honestly, I don't think I got a soft lock off on anybody, but I did at multiple points. Like they play Finishing Rays, Chronostasis, and I put both of my hand disruption cards on top, and it just crippled people. It's also just a very defensive card. If you're getting the crap beat out of you, just get rid of some dudes. 3 Juggernauts. Some people want to play 2. Juggernaut's insane. Some people want to play 1, like fucking goons.
I want to play 0, dude.
Oh my goodness.
Honestly, Juggernaut speaks for itself. If you've ever played with or against this card, it's absolutely insane. The synergies with Mayu, and this deck recurs Mayu very well, so having 3 to always be able to synergize with it is just very good. There's not too much. Also, whenever you're trying to like push that late game advantage, like try and like get their towers down, just kill them, being able to just attack with Juggernaut's sweet because it's protected by itself. 1 Mayu. This card is amazing. There's not a lot of questions here. Because this deck does play more removal than the average deck, Mayu's even better because you can just recur the removal. Grab your Miasma, grab your Soul Transfer, Yami. You don't even have to cast that spell that turn. Or you can, grab a Yami to play during their turn, but cast some other expensive spell to deal with what they have. So we'll just skip to Chronostasis. I feel like if you're playing Jemial and you're not playing this card in the nicest way possible, I feel like you're just strictly wrong. Chronostasis is so necessary. At the very least, it's necessary in the control mirrors. Tim even said earlier, he was like, you got so much of an edge because you were playing the Chronostasis because he wasn't playing it in his build. And it just helps so much. You can't deal with Juggernauts very well, especially in this deck. You try and target it with Soul Transfer or whatever, they give it hexproof. So you either have to beat into it, which I traded a lot of Juggernauts into Juggernauts this weekend, or you have to try and get off a timely Chronostasis. It's also just good whenever you're getting beat up by other dudes.
Okay.
So the 2 cards that would be considered maybe spicy. I'm playing 1 Stormcaster of the Azure Tower. I love this card. I think it's insane. It is another threat that gets over other people's Juggernauts. because once again, Juggernaut's a hard thing to deal with. You need to have a dude that is big and they have to deal with. It's another card that I abused by bouncing into my hand multiple times today. Card's just good. It's removal. Gets rid of 2 things. It puts them on the bottom, so they can't Yami him back, anything like that. So fun thing, I'm playing 41 cards in my deck. I didn't yesterday because I cut this card for Stormcaster, and I regretted it all day. So today I play 41 cards. I am playing Harbinger of Avril. This is partially a tech from Nori's deck, as well as my team lead Jacob has also been trying to hype up this card. And once I looked more into it, especially with this deck, I realized that Harbinger is just insane. Nori put it when we were talking about the deck that it's a 4th Juggernaut, because it's just something that's very hard to deal with. I mean, they can target it with abilities, but honestly, that's just fine sometimes. You can get to points where you're going to the very late game, you're going in a time, whatever. You just land your Harbinger, flip your 2 shields, and suddenly have more shields than your opponent. It's shitty, but you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. Also, it's just a big body. It's very scary. Can't be targeted by spells. Sideboard. Some parts of my sideboard I'm not very fond of. I played the 1 Golem of Vengeance on my sideboard. I decided at the end of the day that it's not good because I never sided it in. The cards that I would be siding out for the Vengeance are just as good in that matchup, so it was honestly just a waste of space. You have to keep your 8 card affinity, so honestly I should not have had that. It should have just been another blue card, another Argent card, maybe a second Acid Monger or something. I'm playing 1 Acid Monger. We started at 3, but because we're playing the Zephyr Crystal, we just felt like we don't need it. Just play the 1, and it felt fine. The Watchwoman. So whenever you need to push, even if you're going into game 2 or game 3 with not a lot of time, just let you push. Trades really well, obviously, because it prevents the damage. Watchwoman's just great. 2 delayed poisons. The main reason for only 2 and not 3 is because whenever you're siding them in, you only have so many cards to side out, because Yami and Soul Transfer are probably good in the matchups when you bring these in. And if Yami and Soul Transfer, or if Soul Transfer is bad, then the Demon and the Vengeance are good. Basically, you're either dropping
Soul Transfer
or the 2 Hand Disruption cards. But you only have 2, so that's why I think Vengeance are just bad.
Okay.
3 Cryptic Deflections. Card is amazing. Honestly, we both really, really wanted to play it in the main board somewhere, but there was no room. I think that was honestly part of the reason he ended up swapping to Jemial Kite, because that deck does very effectively play it in the main board. I didn't have any room. It's good in a lot of situations that you just don't realize sometimes. We thought that Jemial Luna is going to be really popular going into this weekend, and Cryptic Deflection is really good. Stop their Soul Transfer, it just whips. It has the secret hedges where your opponent will try and bounce their Sophia, so you can't deal with it, and you can Cryptic Deflection their Sophia so it fizzles, and then you have a chance to deal with the Sophia. Things like that. Also, if you can hit an Ishkandar whenever they hit, Ishkandar hits, you Cryptic Deflection the Ishkandar, there's just a naked 10-drop on the board, really good for Soul Transfer.
True.
I haven't resolved it yet. They always answer it, but I gotta try.
What, War Room or what?
They just answer with some sort of thing. I think earlier he Mizu'd it. He drew his 3rd Mizu and Mizu'd the Ishkandar back to his hand. It was brutal. 1 Leviathan. This was here for control matchups. If you for some reason just lose game 1 really quickly. It's there for the Helena matchups. This card's just pretty good against them. Being able to steal a dude and attack. In the finals match, I stole a dude's Konost, and if I wasn't a buffoon, it would have been insane.
Fun times.
Then we have the aggro package, 3 Amateur Witch, 3 Shard Beast. Sometimes you just gotta push. Whenever we went into the game 3 of the finals, we went in at time, so it was sudden death. And I opened my hand with Mizu, ASB, Shard Beast, and Azure Seer, and then I just drew into more dudes, so I was able to sudden death him before he was able to sudden death me. He tries to play his dude and attack, I'll ASB your dude, play my guy. So I was able to pressure a little bit more. I want to say for sure, thank you to Aaron for testing all week, as well as, honestly, this guy got me here in more ways than, one can say. I want to say thank you to Nori. Like I said, I talked to him all week. We've shot back ideas, taken a lot of his things into consideration. I used a mixture of his and Tim's base list. And then, thanks to everybody for the good games today. I played against Tim, like I said, 3 times this weekend. Super cool dude. I honestly, like I said, learned a lot from the matchup.
What's your hoodie say?
Mothership. Wrong.
That's not the one.
All right. Mothership Books and Games.
All right.
In Austin, Texas. We post a lot of things all the time. We're honestly probably going to be starting up probably a YouTube channel, posting a lot of stuff, deck lists, everything. It's really funny. This Jillian Corona deck that got really popular, we've been kind of trying to put together for weeks, so it's really funny.
Just to clarify, so the guy that pretty much made Oron Kite the first time, he's from the same team as you, right? Or like the same store?
Jacob Sconsi, the guy that pretty much created Oran Kite, to my knowledge. It doesn't seem like anyone else is on it.
I mean, to my
guy.
knowledge as well. That was the first time I saw it.
Yeah, he created Oran Kite.
Okay.
And honestly, is a really big part of the reason I play this game. You know, we play a lot together. It's one of my best friends. And yeah, we're probably going to be seeing a lot more of our team in the coming months, going to all the champs and everything. We already grind and kill every regional. It's pretty fun.
All right. Well, thank you, Princess, and we hope to see you again.
Twitter @PrincessPasser, BASSER. Thanks to everyone from Shenanigans Games, San Antonio, great place. Thanks to Aaron, everyone's great, and thanks to Argent Saga for running this badass event.
Cool.